Hello. I'm glad you've decided to spend this time with me. Today, we aren't just talking about knees and elbows. We are talking about your freedom. I want to speak about something I call the silent resignation. It's a process I see in my clinic every day with patients in their 50s and 60s. It starts small. You stop taking the stairs because the click in your hip makes you nervous. You stop reaching for the high shelf because your shoulder feels stiff. Before you know it, your world has shrunk. You've retired from your hobbies, your travel, and your active life, not because you wanted to, but because you felt your body was expiring. You speak about your joints as if they were old hinges on a rusty gate. You say, well, I'm just 60 now, I guess this is it. As your doctor, I am here to challenge that resignation. Your joints are not static pieces of plastic. They are dynamic, living biological systems. They are designed to adapt to the stress you give them. In fact, your joints thrive on challenge if that challenge is administered correctly. Today, we're going to look under the hood. We're going to move past the myths and give you a scientific blueprint to re-oil your system and turn back the clock on your mobility. To fix the pain, we have to understand the environment of the joint. Most people believe that arthritis is simply wear and tear. They think of it like sandpaper rubbing on wood until nothing is left. But your joints aren't wood. They are covered in articular cartilage. Think of this cartilage as a high-tech, living sponge. This sponge is incredibly slick, 5 times more slippery than ice on ice. But it has one major weakness. It has no blood vessels. Your muscles get fed by your heart pumping blood to them. Your cartilage, however, gets its nutrients through a process called cyclic loading. Imagine a sponge sitting in a bowl of water. If you just let it sit there, the water inside becomes stagnant. To get fresh water in, you have to squeeze the sponge and let it go. When you walk, you squeeze the cartilage, pushing out metabolic waste. When you lift your foot, the pressure is released, and fresh, nutrient-rich synovial fluid, your body's natural WD-40, is sucked back in. After 50, the biggest threat to your joints isn't too much movement, it's stagnation. When we stop moving because it hurts, the sponge stays compressed or stagnant. The fluid becomes acidic. The cartilage literally begins to starve. Today, we are going to restart that pump. I want to introduce you to a concept called the kinetic chain. In medicine, we often see that where the pain isn't where the problem started. Think of your body as a 3-story building. The foundation, your feet and ankles. The first floor, your knees. The second floor, your hips and pelvis. If the foundation, your feet, starts to tilt, the first floor, your knees, has to twist to stay upright. This twist creates friction in the joint. I see so many patients who think they need knee surgery, but what they actually need is to fix their big toe mobility or their ankle flexibility. As we age, the fat pads on the bottom of our feet thin out, and our arches may collapse. This changes the pull on every joint above it. The fix, we must address the entire chain. We cannot treat the knee in isolation. We have to look at your footwear, your hip strength, and even your core stability. When the building is aligned, the hinges, your joints, stop grinding. 1. The hydration-osmolarity connection. Cartilage is roughly 80% water. But here's the catch. To keep that water inside the joint, you need minerals. Specifically, you need electrolytes like magnesium and potassium. The strategy? If you drink nothing but plain filtered water, you might actually be flushing out the minerals that keep your joints elastic. I recommend adding a pinch of high-quality sea salt or an electrolyte drop to your morning water. You're essentially re-inflating your cartilage pillows. 2. The anti-rust diet. Inflammation is like internal rust. It eats away at the smooth surface of your joints. The biggest fire starters are refined sugars and ultra-processed vegetable oils, like corn or soybean oil. The strategy? Focus on collagen precursors. Your body makes its own collagen, but it needs vitamin C, zinc, and copper to do it. One of the best joint foods is actually bell peppers and pumpkin seeds. And don't forget your omega-3s. Think of them as your internal lubricant. 3. Strategic loading, the Goldilocks principle. Many people either do too much or too little. We need the Goldilocks amount of stress. The strategy? Use isometric exercises. This means tensing the muscle without moving the joint. For example, sitting in a chair and squeezing your thigh muscles as hard as you can for 10 seconds. This builds the muscle shock absorbers around the knee without the friction of a full squat. 4. Sleep, the night shift repair crew. The actual repair of your cartilage happens during deep delta wave sleep. This is when your body releases growth hormone. The strategy: if you're not sleeping because your joints hurt, you're in a vicious cycle. Try using a knee pillow, a small pillow between your legs if you sleep on your side, to take the pressure off your hips and spine. This small change can extend your deep sleep by 20%. 5. The big toe secret. This sounds strange, but your big toe is the anchor for your entire gait. If your big toe is stiff, your foot can't roll properly and your knee takes the hit. The strategy: spend 2 minutes a day simply wiggling and stretching your toes. It sounds minor, but it unlocks the bottom of the kinetic chain. I want you to be empowered, but I also want you to be safe. Please see a specialist immediately if symmetry loss. One joint is significantly swollen, red, or hot compared to the other. Mechanical locking. The joint literally gets stuck and you have to manually move it. Night-waking pain. Pain that is so aggressive it prevents you from entering deep sleep. Or sudden buckling. If your leg feels like it gives out on you, this is a sign of ligament instability. Let's start your lube job tomorrow. For the next 7 days, do these 3 things. The morning flush. 500 milliliters of water with electrolytes before you touch a drop of coffee. The chair squat. 10 times a day, sit down and stand up from a chair slowly, taking 5 seconds to go down. And the 20-minute lube, a 20-minute walk at a steady pace to keep the sponge moving. Your joints were made for a lifetime of adventure. They are more resilient than you've been led to believe. Stop protecting them to death and start feeding them with movement, hydration, and strength. You aren't just getting old, you are gaining experience, and your body is ready to support you if you give it the right tools. I'm Dr. Henry, and I believe in your potential to move without fear. Stay active, stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next Masterclass.